Hi everyone, this week I'm going to be doing a remake of one of my older videos. It's going to be a coconut milk soap. We are going to do a lye water replacement with actual coconut milk. I'm redoing this video because the old one I have on my channel, a lot of people complained that it was hard to hear what was going on, so I just wanted to include like a step-by-step process and give you guys the recipe. So you may be asking yourself why you want to use coconut milk in a soap or any milk. Coconut milk specifically is supposed to be very effective with cleaning the skin without making it overly dry. The milk itself contains a lot of fatty acids, and soap can help deep cleanse the skin and make sure it gets rid of the dead skin cells and leaves a lot of hydrating qualities on the coconut with a coconut milk soap anyway. So what you want to look for is any coconut milk soap will do. You want to make sure you get one without added sugars. The less ingredients on the coconut milk, the better. I use this one from Aldi. As you can see, the ingredient list is pretty long. You can get the ones in the can that are 100% coconut milk. Those are probably a little bit better than this. But they both will work for this recipe. So you can use whatever you have on hand. One other thing I want to add is you don't want to get a coconut milk with added sugars into it, because the sugars will actually cause the lye to sort of heat up. So what I do with my coconut milk is, you see, I measured it out, I put it in the freezer, and then I let it sit for a few hours or overnight depending on what I'm doing. Then once the milk is frozen, I go ahead and pop it out. I do a couple of the cubes at once. So right now I started off with 2 of the cubes. And then I go ahead and start adding my lye to the coconut milk. And it does take a while to kind of mix everything down and get the lye fully incorporated with the coconut milk itself. And when you're doing this, you just want to take your time and keep the milk as close as you can to a whiter color pigment, or the actual color of the coconut milk itself. If you start to notice it going yellow or brown, you're adding the lye too quickly. The milk can also curdle if you do it way too quickly. So this is just something you want to take your time with, and you can stir in a little bit and then you can set it aside and wait for the cubes to kind of melt a little bit, and so on. So it's just kind of like a slower moving process, but I promise you guys it is worth it. So some other benefits of using coconut milk is that it has high levels of vitamin C, which help maintain your skin elasticity and flexibility. It's also rich in copper and prevents wrinkles and sagging or aging spots. So again, like I was saying, coconut oil is a super nourishing, or coconut milk is super nourishing for the skin, and that's why I love to use it. And see, you're just seeing me add in another cube because those other 2 cubes started melting down a little bit, and I thought it was okay to go ahead and add another one at that point. So another thing that I do while I'm waiting for these cubes to melt down is I will start measuring out my oils and such, so that way I'm just not sitting here mixing continuously for no reason. But this is what I wanted to show you, how it looks after I have been mixing for a while, and I've just been slowly adding the cubes and the lye together. The color of the milk is actually still pretty close to the same color as the little milk cubes. So that's what you're going for, and that's what you're looking for when you're doing this. Hope that makes sense. So let's start measuring the oils. I'm going to start out with safflower oil, and all of the oils in this are kind of lighter. They are good if you're trying to, do a slow trace, because these are all pretty much more liquid-based oils, to keep your, soap slow moving when you actually do start mixing it. I'm also using sunflower oil. Sunflower oil is great because just using a small bit of it can add some hardness and a creamy lather to your bar of soap. So that's why I like to use it. It also leaves your skin feeling kind of silky when you're finished using it. The next ingredient I'm using is coconut oil. As most of you probably know, there are tons of reasons why coconut oil is great for the skin. I'm not going to go into that too much today. And the last ingredient that I'm going to be adding today is olive oil. Olive oil is a great oil to use in soap. I use it in most of my soaps as a primary oil. It's rich in vitamins, and it does help from having too much lather in the bar of soap, so that will help with that as well. And for the fragrance oil, I'm using charcoal and shaved cedar oil. I do want to say out of the bottle, it smells amazing. It's very smoky and dark, and I really loved it. It's curing nicely in my soap as well, but I did have issues. I'll explain in a bit. I'm also using ground turmeric. This is great for like acne prone skin. It also helps remove blemishes from your skin. So I like to use it in my soap from time to time. I'm also using activated charcoal, which is also, a detox for your skin as well. So I thought this would be a nice cleansing bar. I wanted to do a really intricate design with this and kind of have a swirl, but that did not end up happening. So anyway, you want to go ahead, and once you have all your oils melted down and ready to go, and your coconut milk and the lye is fully incorporated, you can go ahead and mix them together. Now, I always mix my soap at room temperature. If you're not mixing at room temperature or new to soap making, I would recommend staying around 110 degrees for your oils and your lye solution. If you're using ice cubes, though, you shouldn't have a problem with your lye overheating. So that is just one thing to keep in mind. So I went ahead and mixed this as much as I could. Then I went ahead and added this lovely fragrance oil. And like I said, by the way, it smells amazing. I actually really love it. It's more of a masculine scent, but I like rustic, sort of musky smells. So I thought this was perfect. I went ahead and I mixed it up. And just as I got done mixing it, I was getting ready to add the color additives, and as I was doing it, I noticed that my pot started heating up and my soap started kind of clumping, as you can see. So I'm just kind of not even measuring stuff at this point. I'm quickly mixing it in. The good thing about this is that it was just accelerating, so I was able to kind of mix it in with the stick blender a little bit, give it a few quick pulses, which looks okay, but it kind of gives my bar of soap a little rustic look at the end, which at the end I'm okay with, but it's not ideally what I wanted. So I went ahead and just pulsed the stick blender as much as I could and mixed it as much as I could, and then crammed it down into my mold and let it sit up. So you can see all the pockets of air there. It didn't quite, come out the way I wanted it, but I think it looks good. And then I just trimmed up the sides, and I do have a nice lovely bar of soap. It is curing. This fragrance oil did not discolor my soap at all, so if you were doing a different design or just wanted to have a nice white bar of soap, it might be good to, hurry up and plop it in the mold as quickly as you can so you don't have issues. But I just wanted to warn you guys in case you were deciding to use that. So you can kind of see the design is not the best. We've done way better stuff than this, but that's okay. I want to thank you guys for watching the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have questions, go ahead and leave a comment down below.